Dumelang Mzansi, re le amogela gape mo Rise. The way we feel about our bodies translates directly into the way we live our lives. Bosigo ba kajeno, re bua ka body image. And hello to my co-hosts. How are you tonight?
We fine, and you.
It's a heavy one we're going to be discussing. So I want you to, I just want you to brace yourselves, you know? There's something that I want to share with you. I don't know if you've ever seen this ad before, but let's take a look. The story being that those beautiful women that we see on magazines, on television, don't nearly look like anything they were born with. Isn't that amazing?
I mean, obone mulala wa hae literally at the stroke of a mouse, wa computer. Then
matlo ba wa isa godimo gore amagolo. So ke eng e bilongang ko ena? How do you guys ka re le ba banyane, and I think you guys have a lot more images. Le ikutlo yang ka di images tse di latlhelwang mo yona ya ka batho.
It's challenging ka gore you never, I mean, everyone wants you to be perfect, kajeni. Everyone cares about what they see. You know, and the thing is, those images are everywhere. Udibona mo TV, udibona mo di magazine, hoya ko internet gape, udibona ko internet, and now even on social networks, mo to where no le Kgomotso, you can even change yourself.
Right,
you know, and that's what a lot of people in our generation are doing because of things like that. Because they think if you don't look like that girl, there's something wrong with you.
But that girl doesn't even look like that.
Exactly.
Isn't that the irony?
Actually, about that.
Exactly.
How where that image started.
Okay, now we can't be hypocrites about this entire thing. Because Kirona mo carry makeup, we're not recruiting wrong. But, okay, so I thought, let's take pictures of ourselves.
Yeah.
And we're going to show you the before and after.
I still look pretty sweet.
You're gorgeous. Okay, Lebo, you look like it's a mugshot, I must say that.
Yeah.
Mopodisi, Abata, Lebo, Ramafoko. I don't know. I just see all the spots. Now, when I see that, I see all the things about me that can be fixed. Uneven skin tone, the lips that could use a little bit of gloss maybe, but that's how I look most of the time. I choose not to wear makeup every day.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about yourselves?
Clearly everybody saw, and I think everybody now understands that this is not my hair. I lost my hair to alopecia when I was 18. And it was the worst thing in my life. I struggle to this day to not have a wig on.
What is alopecia for people who may not know, Lebo?
Well, it's an autoimmune illness. Doctors and medicine don't know what causes it. Your own body starts fighting against itself. It's been a struggle, and it continues being a struggle.
Particularly because hair is supposed to be a woman's crown.
Yeah,
right?
You know,
like, you know?
You know.
What is the weight you're supposed to be? Is that something your doctor said, or is it something the television said?
It's not just the doctor or television. I think you know?
Yes.
And I think more so than I don't care how I look, more than I care about basadi baba. You know, I think it's more important to me hore basadi ba nagana eng ka the way I look than banna, you know, and that comes from the immediate family, you know, and your immediate circle.
Actually, before the episode, broke into tears because then it hit me that every insecurity I've ever had about my body or whatever came from the people I love the most. It came from home. My uncle was very obsessive about my weight, to the point that he would force the family to find ways or something. And he would make it a point to tell me how fat I am and that I must lose weight. I remember as a child, I'd come home from school, right? And I was a mess, and I heard that water can make you lose weight and you can be healthy. And at that age, Healthy for me was being thin.
Yeah.
And I drank so much water that I ended up puking it all out.
Yeah.
Because someone I love so much said that.
Right.
And it's something I actually want to say to parents and friends and family members. That the insecurity come from you, from the family members. You're the ones that are breaking us. Because without my family's comments, I'm actually the most confident thing ever.
I mean, like, the world is littered with black girls like Kanye and you and myself who've been told, like the comments for me, not necessarily in sort of like in the family, like, that's my insecurity. So if we're sharing about our insecurities, about what we look like physically, it's about how short I am, and everybody makes a point. Toilet, you know, and my reaction was to have a sharp tongue. So you can break me down with your own, but I can't beat you physically. So I will develop my tongue so that I can feel better about myself.
For me, it was like, you know, even in my family, I mean, the comments that would pass over my complexion. So I always had this sort of insecurity, you know, like I hated my skin. I mean, I went through all sorts of products trying to lighten, you know, my complexion and stuff. So it was that, and then wanting to be seen as something else.
This whole act of naming and calling people about things that they have no control over.
Sure.
Really and truly, there must be a jail term for it.
Agreed.
Because really, Kgomotso.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And why must it be a weapon in your hands?
We will be joined by Dr Mashadi Motlana, a psychiatrist who currently specializes with eating disorders.
Our guest today is Dr Mashadi Motlana. She has been a psychiatrist for 10 years. Welcome to the show, Dr Motlana.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Dr Motlana, you specialize in eating disorders. In your experience, the driver behavior towards this in particular?
By the time patients come to our hospital, it's already a diagnosable condition. However, having said that, a lot of women suffer from body image difficulties that are related to self-image and self-esteem because of the undue pressure that women are subjected to in terms of our society and media, the expectation of what a perfect body is, what it is to be beautiful, and how we engage with each other in society.
How do you even begin go bolella ngwana wa 15 years gore no solanka o le botlhale ko sekolong go siame?
Given that the media image I don't know, impossible to compete with the media. How do you compete with, so to say, no, don't look like Nicki Minaj, look like Kgomotso Matsunyane instead? They'll be like, yeah, right. You know, which is shit, really.
Truth be told.
But I think the opposite. We can use the media in a very positive way to change those conversations. We're subscribing to the Minaj. We're not telling our own stories. And I keep saying, until black people own media and tell our own stories and portray ourselves in the way that we want to be portrayed, we're going to continue having those conversations. The important thing starts at home, how we build the confidence of our children, the conversations we have at home.
How early does this awareness of self and body manifest then? Yeah.
I think the messaging at home is important, and it's not just about how you look, it's about remaining empathetic to your child's needs, being able to be a good parent so that they don't require external support. They have attachments within the family system that make sense. So they're not trying to reveal their bodies because they want some kind of attention.
Fashion ya banyana is over-sexualized from as early as 6 years, you know. So, yes, we talk about parents, but sometimes they would have been much better than no, seriously, because how nale me oratang prim and proper then ulungwana ngwanyana oratang fashion. That's how you are going to be brought up. So it's almost as if you know, you are buying into an industry that can be very detrimental.
Yeah.
But it's not just parenting. I think it's a societal issue.
Yeah.
We need to have those discussions and be very frank about what it is that's happening. You know, we give double messages to women.
True.
We say to young girls, you can have a career, you can be anything you want, but just make sure you wear a tutu and that you're wearing ballerina slippers.
Doctor, what do people believe that perfection will bring them, that perfect image? Gore e tlo go tlisetsang if you look that way.
Well, I think it speaks to, you know, being accepted and struggling with that acceptance. And of course, in my environment, it's the extreme that I'm seeing where it's actually become an illness, where that person has such a distorted body image that even if you give them information to counter that, they're unable to embrace that to the extent to which they even compromise their health and may even die, because the mortality rate with anorexia nervosa, for example, is around 6%, 6 to 10%.
What about unhealthy and healthy dieting? Like, does that impact somebody's self-image, you know? And is an unhealthy diet an eating disorder?
Okay, so you ask very interesting questions. So, and they're quite complex. So let's unpack it. What is healthy eating? For me, it's very simple. It's about a balance. So you get all food groups. You don't leave out your carbs. You don't overdo the protein. You make sure that the portion sizes are adequate. So it's not just important to choose the right food groups, but it's also how much you eat. Then it's about how frequently you eat. So one meal a day, your body goes into starvation because you don't know when your next meal is going to be. So whatever you eat, you store. And then the fourth thing is it's not just about eating alone, you need to exercise. So there are a lot of fad diets, there's a lot of mixed information, and people are often confused. And so that's why I stick to the basics. If you observe the fact that you need all food groups, plus you avoid highly processed foods, so your polonies and white bread, things with lots of sugar and chips and chocolate. So that would be a healthy diet.
Because the challenge is that a lot of batho ba bantšha ba re buang le bona gone yaanong ko gae a bana option eo. Whether they eat or not is even an issue. Never mind what they get to eat. If you look gore ke go seng and o tshwantse o je selatsa, and the selatsa seo ke borotho bo boleng dry, then that's what you eat. So I think part of challenge ke gore it's not like you have it, but they have the option to have 5 colors, 4 food groups all the time. So part of the challenge is a class one, because sometimes
I agree with you fully, but I also wish that we also understood they really cost very little, and we can be very creative in the way that we cook them in such a way that they stretch a lot.
Do people with serious eating disorders or body image issues, can they recover?
Well, a small minority do, in fact, recover. But for many, it's a lifelong issue. They continue to have self-image problems, even though they may gain a normal weight. So this is the important part, and be functional. But the self-esteem issues and their body distortion may never completely go away.
And I don't even think it's only for basadi ba ileng gore they are in your clinic. I think basadi, from the time they are born to the time they get into the grave, because of the society, like they battle with that. Alopecia, I don't have hair. Complete stranger. Ushaka cheese cup. You know, and it's like, well, I could say it. Or unale cancer. It's like, why am I walking down the street and it's on to account how I look to you? And I never say, oh, do you have a small penis? Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, will it be odd? Why is it just because you see? Why would you see? I mean, I'm making that example because it's like the body of a woman. It's a battleground.
I think the most important thing is not what I say to them. It's what I believe. Same thing about being black. You hear over and over again that you're not good enough, that you're not cut out. So you can either believe it and you can make it part of your fiber, or you can say, I hear all that, but I think differently about me.
Yeah.
So
Mari, that
it's
is
going
help.
to be a constant asking yourself those questions and stepping back. Do you become that person or not?
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, we can't keep Dr. Motlana here forever as we would like to. Dr. Motlana, thank you so much for joining us here today and for the work that you do, actually, to help women to accept themselves and ourselves. Re tlo boa e se kgale, o se ke wa tshwara remote eo. In the spirit of self-acceptance, go botlhokwa gore re bue ka dilo tse re di ratang, tse re ka di fetolang ka rona, or rather tse re ka se di fetoleng ka rona. You know, dintho tse e leng gore like, yeah, eo yona e nice ka nna, and actually not only do I accept it, but it's something that I celebrate. So I challenge you to tell me one part of your boring.
Only one. Only one.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Arieng, Madikeled.
It's my eyes from Dikeledi. It's my eyes, it's my lips. It's my curves. It's, gosh, I love so much my legs. I have like really beautiful legs.
Like, damn.
But once you pay me the advertisement, it's about to say, shave, yeah, and I'm just naming a few just for control.
Nyiko winner.
Linda, my eyes, hey? Even though they don't work properly, but I love them. Yeah. This thing, you know?
Get his sexy eyes.
It's a window.
And can I just say that you got the most beautiful skin ever? I wish I could be that beautiful.
And I think my relationship with Litalola, or actually feeling proud of my skin. Yes.
No, really, that helps.
But otherwise, I think, you know, I would have had a huge complex about it.
Yeah.
Lebo, no,
My curves.
You love your curves,
Oh, absolutely.
girl.
Absolutely. Wait till you get shape. Yeah.
Turn around, my baby. I want to see your figure.
Ke kopa go lebelela nna gore ke ratang ka nna.
Yes, baby.
Ke rata di breasts. The babies, the girls,
The
lost
twins.
tatas, lost chichis. I think I have a gorgeous pair. God bless you, babies.
And you do.
And the legs. Oh,
And the legs. I can make it one, and I mentioned two. All right, you know what it is, Nip? All of this aside, and it's all fine and well, but the power, ya batho ba ba rekisang.
Oh, yeah.
Kore advertising, e thata. Ha go kgone gore o ka tsamaya maoto a mabedi a mararo before o bona image e leng gore either e go feelisa bad kapa e go feelisa o kare oh e re ke reke sose. Ha gona advertising ke leng ka e feta ya go dieta ke batlo bua maka.
Yeah.
E leng gore a zanka e bala ka litlhonyana le itseng. So while ke te accepta, while ke amatha, yo a tlhaloganya, it's like because that's what I enjoy and that's my hobby and I know that it keeps the weight at bay. It is impossible for me to function outside of being influenced by some time of advertising.
Yeah. There is no magazine that you open. What's television and not see those images. And le ga ba sa re o mobe ba go rekisetsa gore bontle ke ntho e yang. And when o sa fiti that category ya gore bontle ke ntho e so o tla ira dilo tse leng gore le fa wena, I mean, batho ba re ba tsenya di eyelashes gore di nne di tellene dio tse di tsenywa ka glue and ba itshoka and what do we say bontle bo itshokelwa wa utlisa ntse tsona le eo. So it's almost as if industry e entse fela gore just to make money your body is a battleground.
Right.
Irrespective, na my biggest kore mo ke tla beng ke go kopana le ba na ba bantle ya ka ba they have so much doubt about how they look, and I'm like, how is that possible?
But you know what? Gona le motho o mogolo ona go lebeletse lwena o le 18 yalo o na le cheesy.
True.
A re ngwana ka mogwa le montle ka te wena o ka se bona. So ke le bolela yana gore there's a lot, the benefit of hindsight. In my 40s, ke feel hot jwang, and it gets better. With every age that it gets older, more of my insecurities go away, and you just don't care. And really, because batho ba bangata ha ba mind gore o shebega yang, as long as o bagaya, you know, bashab. But they're like, no, thank you, OC. Ra go leboga, re rata bori ya gago ele jwala.
Marike Batori, something else about media as a whole. Yes, I know gore tlisa negativity e ngata ne, but recently what I've been seeing is that there's a certain evolution happening where media is also helping women feel comfortable about themselves. With words like bootylicious, well, but for those of us who are. I don't want to stand up, that could get dangerous. But anyway, with words like bootylicious, with also, I mean, we like Lupita, you know, and also they're embracing curves right now, they're embracing a whole lot more. I think but there is, I mean, some sort of upliftment.
You see, so you cannot, the sense of beauty cannot be external. Wa utlwisisa ke bona banyana le ba sa fiwa nya ka nna yana o kre motho le mo dinepeng mo social media what sells is that. When it no longer sells, I'm telling you, go rekisa se seng gape se se different. So that is why regardless gore o mosesane o mokima o motelele o nthong ena, start by accepting who you are.
Thank you.
And understanding that these images are made to make money for someone else. They are not about beauty and about health.
Yes, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hanke be ile gore batho ba ba re rata ebile ga ba batle go ja tšhelete ya rona nke ba re filisa betere is worse. So re ka se khone go nna le nako e lekaneng go bua ka tse tsotletse, but to the young women ba ba re lebileng, you are perfect just the way you are. It doesn't get any better than this, okay? Our overall health and well-being is dependent on our emotions and the way that we think. Happiness has a place to reside. And thanks to our lovely guest, Dr. Motlana, the young women from the Rise Young Women's Clubs, my co-host, my beautiful, gorgeousness, sexiest co-host in the world. Do not forget to engage with us further on this conversation on Twitter, Mxit, and Facebook. Bye-bye. Woof, woof.